Hi everybody, day 9 is counting down. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself, of course. Sacrifice. This is the first phase, of course, of the Pulsechain launch. First we got the sacrifice, and then we got the mainnet launch. Awesome stuff. In the middle, of course, we're going to have public testnet, and then the fork itself. It's going to be pretty awesome stuff. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself. Day 9 of sacrifice. Now the show's a little bit later than I did the last couple of days. Just was setting up a few other things, so very cool indeed. I know of people who have been contacting me, so they're going to be doing some sacrifices. So sacrifices do continue on. I think quite a few people are speculating on the Hex price and have only held back quite a bit to do more sacrifices in the future. So it's going to be interesting. The price has to beat the good old bonding curve. So let's see how that plays out. Now the Hex chart's looking pretty good today, so we're going to check all that out too. Hope you guys are having a good time. Grab a drink or something, sit back and relax, and let's get into a review of where the Pulsechain sacrifice is at the moment. So I'm your host, Superman, and welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Hit that bell, of course. Get into that chat, and let's get going. All right, very cool. Justin Davis in the chat there. Yo, yo. Good to see Justin Davis. And Alex K, our moderator, is in the house too. Sacrificing goes on. It does as well. So here we are, day 9. We're counting down 3 hours and 37 minutes. It's 10 days, of course, till the sacrifices phase is over. Awesome stuff here. Now let's actually quickly check. We're going to scroll down here and check actually what the price is. So the current rate, there's two components. It's earlier pays better and bigger pays better, generally speaking. The first thing, of course, we've got is the amount that the earlier pays better is based on a time that you spend. So the first 5 days it was $1, and that's over now. We're currently on this white line, so we're in day 9, and it's only a couple hours to go left before the sacrifice day finishes. Currently, at the moment, to get 10,000 points, it will cost you $1.22. So the first 5 days only cost you $1, and now it costs you $1.22. You can see that there. If you go over to the $1.22 for 10,000 points. So that's the first component. The second component, of course, is if we follow down here, is this volume multiplier. This is the second part of how you get points. And of course, it's between 1 and 2.5. It's a linear bonding curve. Basically, it's based on the US dollar equivalent amount. So some people will be sacrificing stable coins. Some people will be sacrificing non-stable coins. And of course, Hex is the big one there, representing about 2/3 of all the sacrifice tokens at the moment. So that's the case that's happening there. So what we're going to see is that over those first 16 days, remember that only applies, that bonding curve applies for the first 16 days. Everyone's US dollar will get ranked, and they'll get a multiplier between that 1 and 2.5. Then the last 3 days, 17, 18, and 19, it's 1.75. So that's a flat bonus on those 3 days. Okay, so it's a separate, almost a separate contest. It's not in the stadium. This is in the stadium, as it were. It's 1 to 16 days. So that's how that's going to play out. So if you at the end of the days, like day 19, get 5,000 points, would cost you almost $2 to get 5,000, to 5,000 points, and then you're going to get a bonus of 1.75 on that. So you're looking, what's that? 5,000 times 1.75. So it's about 8,000 something on that one, something like that. All right, so that's cool. That's where that's at the moment. Let's quickly check the chat. Of course, hey, we've got Super Kitty. Hey, thanks for streaming. Hey, no problem at all. And just a little bit later than yesterday and the couple of days before that. But hey, we're back on track here. Hey, welcome everybody. Hope you guys subscribe, smash that like button, share, of course, and hit the bell. Now, Pulsechain is open to everybody. All the communities on the Ethereum blockchain are getting involved. And so it's going far and wide amongst many different projects on the crypto blockchain sphere. So it's very exciting to have that. And I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. That means there's a lot more community, so you have to be very open, keep away from tribalism. Pulsechain is for everybody to get on and upwards on that one. So it's going to be a great place to grow. We already see the Telegram, Pulsechain Telegram chat is already much bigger than the Hex Telegram, and that's a pretty big one too. But it's already much bigger because more communities are coming from all over the crypto land onto the Pulsechain. It's very exciting, including, as Richard says, founders have contacted him saying that they're interested as well. We've already seen, Jeff Kadakis announced that his Trust Swap Launchpad will be developing on there. We've already seen, obviously, Monarch wallet as well, and we expect more and more of that to start to build up as the Pulsechain comes up to launch. So it's pretty exciting. So let's get into this. We've got Rated Hex in there. Hey, Rated Hex, good to see you. Yo, yo, yo. Nice to see that one there. and let's go in it. So very cool. Let's jump over there. We're going to jump over. If you want to actually participate, going into sacrifice phase is optional, but why are people doing it? They're doing it so they can get the Pulse coins. A bit like if you were at the beginning of the Ethereum blockchain and getting Ethereum coins, this is what people are trying to do, get the Pulse coin, because basically it's a system state copy of Ethereum, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that gets valued up. We know all the other copies of Ethereum are worth, many of them are worth billions, and obviously that's they didn't have the system state, but the Pulse chain is going to have the system state. So what could that be worth in billions? 20%, 30% of the market cap of Ethereum, or even higher. We're going to find out. Of course, that's going to be part of the price discovery once Pulse chain launches. And so people are after these Pulse coins, and they're going into the sacrifice to do it. It is optional though. The airdrop, of course, for Pulse chain is for everybody. So if you're holding ETH and ERC20 tokens on Pulse chain, you get that free. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to enter the sacrifice. You can just hold your tokens, and you'll get a copy over on the Pulse chain and see how much they're worth once it goes live. It's going to start from zero. Everything starts from zero. All the coins, including a Pulse itself. All right, so pretty cool on that one. That's just an introduction for people, really. So if you want to actually get involved, you can open up the dApp there. All the links in the video description. This is pulsechain.com. And of course, we open up this dApp, it will open us up to pulse.info site, and you can connect your wallet up. You can then select the network of the coins that you want to sacrifice. Now, more have been added, of course, and you've got Avalanche now, Binance Chain, Binance Smart Chain. Now, obviously, you've got BNB and USDC and all sorts of stuff on each of these chains that you can sacrifice. You got Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Cardano, Dogecoin, EOS, Ethereum, which is obviously the main one that most people are doing, but there is quite a bit of stuff coming on a lot of these other chains, like Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin's over, say, 14 million or something like that last time we checked. Bitcoin Cash over 2 million, that sort of stuff. So that's probably growing as well, but you need particular wallets to see that. We've got Ethereum, which is the main one, and that's where most of the sacrifices. We're going to check that out shortly. We've got Litecoin, Monero, Polygon, Matic, Ripple, Stellar Network, Tron, and Zcash. So that's all you have to do is click on it. It will bring you up the different the address that you need to sacrifice to. This is the main address, of course, on the Ethereum one. OX9C ends in 62CB, and that's how that plays out. And you've got all the coins here that you can actually sacrifice. Don't sacrifice to any of these block addresses. That's just to see what's in there. But actually, these are different tokens that you can actually sacrifice: USDC, USDT, Hex, and all that sort of stuff. So you can check that out. But this is actually the address that you actually send it to. Basically, you get your wallet. If you're using a MetaMask, you just send it to this address, the amount that you want to sacrifice. And once you sacrifice, of course, it's gone. You're supposed to expect the work, not work of others, under the Howey rule test, and then it's gone. And in return, later on, you're going to make a political statement that you're sacrificing for freedom, and blockchain is freedom. And then later on, you'll get a reward in Pulse coin airdrop, and that's really what you're playing for there. So that's how that works, folks. And it's probably a good chance that you'll have to mint that coin, just like they had to mint Hex when Hex launched as part of the Howey test there as well. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's introduction really for people. Let's go over to the results. Let's see where we're at the moment. First of all, for that, I'm going to just check some of the comments in the chat there. We've got Raid Hex. Can you tell me how we would bridging into Pulse? I'm hearing people talking about taking ETH and bridging it into PETH, then using that for PHEX. Is that correct? Yeah, that's the way it would work with a bridge. Now, I think there's going to be at least one bridge, and that possibly is an in-house one. We'll see. There's also going to be third-party bridges. We're still waiting to see that, though, Rated Hex. And Alex Gate, Hex price today is not bad, but that bonding curve penalty keeps increasing. Yeah, so it's $1.22 now for 10,000 points, so take that into account. But hey, the Hex chart is looking very good today. Who knows how big that green candle could be on the Hex chart today? It's certainly, over the last 3.5 hours, I only saw 3 sells in the last 3.5 hours and heaps of green buys, but we're going to check that out soon. Alex likes to jump the gun on that. Hey, Alex, don't jump the gun. We're going to get to it. All right, nice one. And Alex K, Raid Hex, yes, there will be a bridge from ETH with no admin keys. Yeah, nice one there, Alex. And Raid Hex, so we will be swapping ETH to PHEX and then trading that. Yeah, you can do that. Raid Hex, or we buy Pulse to transact. Well, you can buy Pulse as well. When you're on there, there'll be a ETH, PETH, and a Pulse coin pair is likely to be the case. And obviously, there's going to be a P Uniswap on there to be able to do that. So the Uniswap has to be the P Uniswap, Pulse Uniswap has to be there, and the bridge over has to be there. And that way, you've got fiat coming in into the ETH chain, and then you can come in over to the Pulse chain. So you've got a fiat gateway through that way as well, as the way we're expecting it at the moment, based on Richard's comments so far. Richard, Rated Hex says, I think Hex might run back down again one more time, keep making lower highs. We'll see about that. Actually looking pretty bullish today, if you ask me. All right, so here we are, folks. We're sitting 10 days and 3 hours and 29 minutes left. Obviously, this is on day 9, and we're counting it down. There's 19 days in the sacrifice phase. We're already just about finished 9, so we're getting close to halfway. Once you get into that 10th day, and we'll be halfway. $631,547,196 is basically sacrificed so far, and this is amazing stuff. Now, this doesn't include a non-Ethereum, and it doesn't include the Send Foundation stuff that I'm aware of, so pretty cool there. These prices are calculated from historical data, and the amount you see was calculated based on what the crypto was worth at the time of the transaction. Take that into account. Due to certain price restrictions, some sends and some staked app donations are not yet included. This site only tracks the following cryptocurrencies, but is not affiliated with any of them. So certain restrictions, some sends and some staker app donations are not yet included. So I'm estimating that we're probably close to 700 million in sacrifices, but we'll see how that goes. That's hence the title of the video. So sacrifice phase ends in that time. Quickly, we've got, this is the new website, of course. It looks very beautiful. This is the pulselead.xyz websites in the video description also. So you can see at the bottom of the video description. And so this is looking pretty cool. We've also got, of course, the leaderboard rank. So you can see up here, we've got the leaderboard. Just click on that. We'll take the leaderboard. We're going to check out the top 100. Now, here's the big news, folks. This is awesome stuff. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Awesome. We got number 5 account over 10 million US dollars sacrifice. So yesterday we had 4 for a couple of days. Now we've moved to 5 accounts over $10 million. Pretty awesome. So we've got our leader there, just under 30 million. We've got the God Whale, as known as the God Whale, 19.6 million. We've got the third account there, 19.4 million as well. I actually still haven't done any investigation on that one. We've got 15.3 million on this one for the number 4, and number 5, folks, is a new entry, 10.7 million US dollars. So very nice on stuff like that. So awesome stuff. Great to see these over $10 million sacrifices. Then you've got quite a few sitting in below that. Let's just scroll down to the top 100, and we'll see what you need to be in the top 100. 763,000. So pretty similar to yesterday, which was about a day ago. We did the live stream. So pretty cool on that. Looking good. Alex K says, Hex, it is possible. I have dry powder ready. And Alex K says, it's still only 25% sacrifice. Yeah, a lot of people like that, Alex. I think a lot of people are playing the price stuff. So we're at that pivotal point, though. $1.22 per 10,000 points is getting to that edgy stuff. But maybe some of the whales are waiting for that capitulation at that, at 122 to 130 sort of mark and the penalties. Maybe some whales are waiting for that. We'll see. Because obviously if they can push the price up, sacrifice, they'll have US dollar will be way greater than that $1.22 or $1.30 penalty. But that 122 to 130 is a pivotal point, because after that it really starts penalizing you quite heavily once you start moving, say, past $1.25, which is obviously the next day that we're encountering. So day number 10 is going to be a pivotal turning point in terms of penalty to price rise. So people really want that price to break out over 18 cents to make that well worth it and pick up more USD value. So interesting stuff there. Arguably playing dangerously, it is at this moment. I agree with you. It is a turning point, but that's the perfect time for whales to make the move. So we're going to check out that anyway. So here we are, 763. Let's check out the top 1,000 wallets, and we'll do this as well. Actually, no, before we do that, let's quickly check how many millionaires we've got. Just jumping the gun there. Millionaires. So we're at 75 millionaires. So I think we're at 70, was it yesterday? So I think we're up about 5 from yesterday. So we're up about 5 millionaires. Very cool. We've got lots of people sitting under a million. So we've got a number of people that could, jump up there as well. And yeah, that's very cool. All right, so let's we'll check the data. We're going to check the top 1,000 now. So 75 millionaires, 5 people that are over 10 million. Very cool indeed. Let's actually go down here. I'm going to wait for that to update, of course, as we go. I think that may have done that now. Let's go all the way down. So to be in the top 1,000, you need $73,270. I think that's up slightly from yesterday. I think we're at 72,000 yesterday, if I remember correctly. So up maybe another 1,000 to get in the top 1,000 wallets. This is just on the ETH chain, by the way, so it excludes Bitcoin and other stuff like that. But very cool, because it's a very good indicator, though, of where we might be. Let's have a look at top 5,000 wallets. It's going to take a bit more computer processing power to pull this up, so I have to be a bit patient on that one. Very cool. Yeah, as Alex says, we're at that turning point where the penalty becomes, versus the price pump that many are expecting, and still well in play at this stage, is going to happen. So if they do get a big price movements, particularly over 20 cents, then you can outdo any of the the penalties that 22-cent penalty at the moment. So let's go. Let's check out what the takes to be in the top 5,000 on the ETH chain. We're going to scroll to the bottom there. Hopefully it's not quite updated. Yeah, so 10,495. So I think we were just over 10,200 yesterday, I believe. So we're almost up at 10,500. So that's still moving up. So to get into top 5,000 wallets on the ETH chain sacrifices, that includes ETH and all ERC20s, then that's what you need to be, 10,500. So if you're looking at doing that and getting the top 5,000, there we are. What's the total number of wallets? Total number of wallets is 35,699. Now, there is some tips, of course, talking about possibly sacrificing a little bit of amount on a couple of wallets in case there's big airdrops for Genesis wallets. So it's something for you to think about. But here we are at 35,699. It looks like it's up about maybe 1,000 or 1,500 from yesterday from memory. So there we go. You can check the video from yesterday, of course, in this channel if you want to check out, confirm some of the numbers I'm trying to remember. Very cool. Let's check out this new stat, of course, performance. So once again, this website looks really good. So congrats to developers on this, pulselead.xyz. I think maybe we had the developer in the chat yesterday. Not sure entirely. But it just shows you some data for the days. It says that there's 126 million day one, based on the parameters here on the ETH chain, to 42 million on day two, and 49 on day three, and 66 on day four. And then obviously a big jump on day five as everyone wanted to get in there, 243. And this is all based on timestamp stuff. Remember the hourly timestamp. Then day 6, 42, and then a day 7, 28, and then a day 8, 21. So we definitely have noticed a little slowdown, obviously after that price shock as well on the day. That's probably had an issue. Also the market, the price, the flash crash, it takes the market a little while to get over. Obviously the gamification, where we start moving up that price curve on the bonding curve, also taking in play as well. So a couple of factors going on there, and certainly a bit of a slowdown. But here we are on day 9. We're currently at 11.64 million, but obviously we've got 3 hours or so to go until it closes off. So we'll see if we get a big jump towards the end there. So that's pretty much that on that. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Alex, Rated X says, does anyone in the top 5,000 get a bonus? They get rated on the volume bonus. Remember, there's 2 components. Earlier is better and bigger is better. So that's how that plays out. So Alex Casey says, yeah, everyone gets the bonus, but based currently numbers, you need to be above the 5,000 sacrifice to get over the medium of 1.75. Yeah, nice one there. All right, so Alex Casey says someone with 70,000 sacrifice gets about 1.35x. Okay, nice one there, Alex. All right, very cool. Let's go with let's go on to the next one. So now we're going to look at the actual market price of it. So we just looked at the timestamp price, which is close to how the sacrifice is going to work. It's the time-weighted average price for non-stable coins every half hour. So that lead one, this one here, the Pulse lead site, gives you an hourly snapshot rather than half an hour. So it's a good approximation though. And then we've got the actual market prices, what's actually worth at the moment. So let's actually go on to the ETH addresses where everyone's sacrificing their ETH and ERC20 tokens to. So we're going to quickly look at that. We can see that currently there's 216 ETH in there, and we know that that's been converted into USDC and DAI-coin, so to preserve the value. So that's why it's so low. It's actually, there was many thousands ETH put into there. So we can see there's about $500,000 worth there at the moment. Let's go on to the ERC20 tokens, which you can see in here. We're going to hit this view expanded of the ERC20 token holdings. Click on that. You can actually see the address OX9C and 62CB. And of course, if we go to the sacrifice wallet, you can see that's the same one as the ETH one. Once you select ETH, that's the same wallet. So there we are. And let's quickly look at the amount sacrificed. So look at this, beautiful, folks, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 2,925,000,000 hex sacrifice. You know, I love this. You know, I love this for sure. Nice there. And of course, the price is almost at 14.5 cents on X at the moment. Nice too. It's looking very nice on the green daily candle. Obviously, those who are speculating on sacrificing, if they only sacrificed a little bit so far, are speculating on if they're sacrificing Hex, speculating that the Hex price will have a breakout. potentially to a new high, at least up to 18 cents, maybe to a new high above that. As I said, if it does break that, we've got a good chance that it could go to 25 to 40 cents, and man, that'd be pretty amazing for those people that have played that riskier strategy, but for bigger US dollar commitments, which would give them relatively more Pulsechain, Pulse coin. That's how what the game is. That's pretty awesome. So that's worth 200,633 ETH at the moment. This 2.9 billion Hex, and it's currently worth 423,741,000 US dollars at the current price of Hex, which is 14.5 cents, but moving up. So we're going to check that as for sure. The US dollar coin, 116 million. DAI stable coin, 27 million. We've got the Tether USD at 20.2 million. So we add all that up, we're at 47, 53, 63, 163 million in stablecoin. Nice. That's up quite a bit from yesterday. I just can't remember the exact amount. Yesterday was 150 something, 57 I think it is. So what did I just say? 163. So we're up, I think, about 6 million US dollars based on my memory there. Very nice. Just a couple of questions in there from Raid Hex. What about 50? Alex Casey, Superman, I sent you the chart based on current numbers. Oh, very nice in the DM. I'll have to check that. I don't know if I have that up at the moment. And 50K is about 1.32x based on ETH numbers only. So this is cool numbers coming from Alex here in the chat. So 50K is about 1.32x based on Hex numbers. So nice. That gives you some idea if you're thinking about what your volume multiplier is going to be. Then that's pretty cool. Obviously, there's two different ways of getting points. The first one is obviously the rate, so the dollar rate, which is the time-based points. So how much dollars it's going to cost you to get 10,000 points. Then on top of that, you can get bonus for the total amount of US dollars that you sacrifice over the first 16 days, and that's this volume multiplier, which is between day 1 to 16, and it's between 1 and 2.5. So that's what we're talking about here. So that's what Alex is referring to. And it's indicative. Alex has given ones that 50K is about 1.35x on the 1.32x, sorry, on the Ethereum numbers only. Obviously doesn't include Bitcoin and other stuff like that. I suspect it's about 23% lower if you count all chains, says Alex K. Okay, thank you. And Alex K says almost, so he's referring to the multiplier rate there, volume multiplier rate. Alex K says almost 3 billion Hex off the market. This is so extremely bullish. It is. So that's why we talked about it big time yesterday. Remember, we went, if you check out the previous video from yesterday, we went through the Hex audit about how many tokens are actually liquid, and that's where we get to that 5% mark I always talk about. It's probably lower than that, 4.8, something like that when we started, and of course that's being squeezed as well. The only thing that's dampening that effect is the amount of Hex coming out of the staking class, as now, pretty much known as the hexagons, the hardcore hexagons that are staking, and so that's the only thing. And we know that somewhere between 750 and 1.25 million Hexes come out of the staking class. So it's just dampening that squeeze effect, but the squeeze effect is still happening, still getting squeezed down, which is the holy grail. Any project that gets to 5% liquid is like awesome. That's really hard to get to, and of course Hex is actually squeezing that down with the Pulse chain, giving a use case for Pulse, and so people are sacrificing. That's the use case they're sacrificing because they're going to get Pulse coin. It's quite brilliant. So we're expecting that to get down further and further, but we're not quite up to that stage yet, so we'll wait till we get to that chart. Tony's in the house. What's up, everyone? Glad to be here. Love this project. Absolutely, Tony. Agree with you 100%. Jan Kowalski, I just wish I could sacrifice more. Hey, everybody does there, Jan. But hey, there is the play, of course, just holding the Hex. Some people are just holding the Hex. And of course, there's also the play that some people are just holding their assets aside to buy Pulse when it launches. There's lots of different strategies being played out. Which one benefits the most? That's the speculation that people are making. Different strategies for different people as well. So pretty cool. Kevin Smith, I wonder how much suppression is going to happen for Pulse chain when it launches. It's going to be a little bit, of course, but not like Hex. It's such a big deal that it's really going to push out boundaries, and we just need more and more projects going on there. But that's a fair question there, Kevin. Raid Hex Smith, doesn't matter. Just hold at least a year, and you'll be very happy. Yeah, I think the walls do start coming down there, Kevin, as well, and it's hard to ignore a cheaper blockchain that's layer 1 and it's Ethereum tokens, same code but enhanced. I mean, this really is going to be hard to ignore. So you watch it, folks, and you see the other ETH copies have all been worth billions of dollars. So watch out. I think it's got far more going for it than some of the hurdles that it may face. Alex K says today my stake from January the 5th, 2020 matured. Bonus points if anyone knows why this date is significant. because that was the all-time low from last year. It means you got it super cheap at the cheapest part of Hex. That's my guess. So rated Hex. If P Hex starts at 0 when Pulse launches, how will it find the value? Is it from external money coming in, or is it people decide to sell it for Pulse? Well, that's because Richard talked about that being a mechanism for that. I can't remember it off by heart, but I'll try and bring that up for tomorrow. It's a good question, but there is a mechanism for that. Kevin Smith, the coin market cap is biased. It absolutely is, and it's not a great site either. I haven't used CoinMarketCap for a very long time. I've used CoinGecko, but CoinMarketCap I don't really use. It's a crappy site anyway. So yeah, Raid Hex, Alex K, congrats. I have to wait until Christmas. Yeah. All right, so very cool. Let's quickly jump over to, I don't know, Alex, do I get a prize for that? Because I'm pretty sure I had the right answer there. Hey, but let me know. Let me know. All right, DM me in the chat. No, I'm just kidding. All right, all right. So where are we up to? We're up to the market prices. So awesome, looking fantastic, this folks. And obviously, if the price of Hex rises, then the value of this is going to rise. And that's kind of why I see it. You think about the sacrifices like a capital raise for a company, and of course, the higher the US dollar amount, the more bullish the branding, the more bullish the valuation is. That's why I'm still expecting some moves either from the Origin wallet, the God Whales syndicates like Overwatch, or some people like that to move the price. So let's see how that plays out, folks. I think that obviously the higher the valuation, the bigger the branding, the bigger the marketing, the bigger the valuation. And so watch out. I still think that it's a reasonable play. Obviously, my opinion, not investment advice, do your own due diligence. But I still think that there's certainly a price pump in play for sure. Even though the penalty is going up, it's $1.22 per 10,000 points today. So if you are getting nervous, you can sacrifice today if you're choosing to do that. Obviously, tomorrow is really the pivot point. Because day 10, that price is going to go up another 5%, and so you've got to, it's going to be pretty much higher. Let me just get the old calculator out and work that out just quickly. $1.22 times 1.05. So yeah, tomorrow's is going to be $1.28 to sacrifice 10,000 points. So it's that turning point. Tomorrow's the turning point where that penalty starts to really hurt if you're not getting that price rise to offset it. So let's see what happens today, because the green candle's looking pretty bullish. So there's some of my thoughts there. Hope that's been able to give you something to think about if you haven't thought about that part. Let's have a look at quickly look at the Binance Smart Chain and see what the sacrifice is there. This is one of the easier ones to check out. Basically, we just have to flip look at the BSC scan. This is on bscscan.com, so you can actually check that out. And here we've got the same address. It's using the same address, of course, but it's just on BSC chain. And we can see at the moment we've got 60 BNB in there. It's worth 17,000, but a lot of that's getting turned in, I believe, into USDC. So we've got BUSD. So we've got 1.3 million there. We've got just under 360,000 in BSC USD, excuse me. And we've got 87,000 in USDC and a little bit in Ripple and stuff like that. So very cool, a little bit in ETH there too. Just little stuff there, but $1.8 million in value there at the moment, just on the BSC scan. Just thought we'd add that in. It's nice to see. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that part. Alex Casey, Superman knows all. 255,000% since all-time lows. Thank God for staking so that I didn't sell it at 2x or 10x. You are lucky, Alex. You are lucky. You are so lucky. Alex says you get a prize. I don't need a prize. This is teasing, but that's so cool. That's so cool, Alex. And to buy on the all-time low of Hex is like amazing. So remember, protect your value as much as possible, Alex. That's all I can say. I know that you know everything about the stuff, so I'm sure you'll be fine. Alex K says, all those volatile times you would have probably sold that out for some decent bags, but missed out on all the double, the 2x's, 2x's, 2x's. But that's awesome. What a great story to tell there, Alex, for sure. Alex K says, we are still so early. We are. And Raid Hex made sure I had a present stake. Lol says Raid Hex. And Alex K, most of my minted is going back for another 10-year stake. Nice one, Alex. See, Alex knows. All right, very cool. All right, so let's quickly jump over to the price. No, actually, before we get to the price, we're going to get to the stake percentage. So, we're going to get to the sacrifice percentage. So we know so far that we've got 2.925. Let's refresh this to see what the latest is. And let's go for gold. So it's 2.925. And how many hours we got to go before the day closes off, day 9? We've got 3 hours and 10 minutes before day 9 closes to get your sacrifice in before the rate goes up from $1.22 per 10,000 points to $1.28 per 10,000 points. So just take that into account today. It's kind of that last day before the penalty really starts to get you. And then tomorrow is definitely the last day, because after that it really does that penalty does start to climb against you, against the dollars. Obviously, you'd need quite a decent, pretty price pump to offset that at that stage. All right, so let's quickly jump over to this, my favorite chart one. You know, this is my favorite. And we are at 0.461% sacrificed. I love this number, and it keeps going up, and we've still got 10 days and 3 hours to go, and so I'm super excited about this. This is major. If you've got Hex, this is huge because this means more scarcity, and we love scarcity for price value over time. Now, pretty much doesn't mean that you can't have short-term sell-offs by certain big holders. Like there is 1 or 2 holders of Hex that have billions there that can destroy the price, but it's not really in the interest to do that typically. And of course, we see strong buybacks as well. So just take that into account. There's not many of them. They're getting less and less and less, and so Hex is getting into a much more beautiful spot. And as we said, there's probably about 2 months ago, there was about 27 million liquid Hex. Obviously, it doesn't include stuff coming out of stakers, as I always say, but that's just going down, down, down. And the sacrifice has taken another 2.9 billion off the market. You got it. That's how we roll, of course. And the only stuff that's added onto that is inflation and the Hex stuff coming out of stakers. And a lot of those stakers, of course, are pretty hardcore. They're playing for the T-shares, which is another game within the staking. To stake longer, get those T-shares, because T-shares are going to get rarer over time too. I think they're about 10.5 million T-shares now. They've gone down too from over 11 million. And so that's going down as well. It's getting harder to get T-shares because the T-share price goes up. So you can see how the mechanics, the fundamentals play out on the staking side, pretty much. So we've got the staking side going super duper good. We've got the squeeze going down. At the moment, you can see we're almost down by 0.5%. Almost, we're getting up there. 0.46% is squeezing out that liquidity. We started off about 4.8. That's going down, down, down. So if we had 4.8 off almost 5, then we're down about 4.3, but that's offset by, of course, the stuff coming out of the staker class. So people have burning their stakes and then sacrificing it, or burning and selling some of their stakes as well. We've seen a couple of those wallets sell over time, but we're getting a lot more sacrificing. And that's the beautiful thing about this at the moment. There's a lot of Hex candle stakes coming due at this particular point in this year. And of course, the sacrifice is coming along at the perfect time. People can take a lot of that stuff and sacrifice it out and get that squeeze on liquidity. Beautiful stuff, beautiful place. And of course, on the demand side, we've got really cool wallet growth as well, and more stakers as well, more stakers than unstaking. Obviously, the value is not the same, but because we've got a lot of OGs still coming out of the staking class as well. But pretty cool. So here we have a look at the sacrifice there. You can see the little white line. You can sort of just see it. If I highlight it, it's that one there. Can you see that? It's getting bigger slowly by day by day. Hopefully, once we get to 1%, it will really show quite big on there with 1% of the sacrifice. But we're at coming towards 0.5% of all Hex sacrifice. Pretty cool. Now, obviously, you can see the T-share price, $2,640. The market price there, 14.4 cents. Now, obviously, the other side of it, of course, is the liquidity pool. Let's have a quick look at the circulating supply at the moment. So 50, pretty similar yesterday, 570 billion. We know that over 90% of that, 545 billion is in the Origin wallet, which is a centralized controlling feature of Hex. And then we're sitting with 60.61 billion in stakes at the moment for the Hex staker class. Pretty nice. We've got 9.55% staked, and that's less than it was, right? It was up about 9.67, 9.7 something. So that some of those people have taken their stakes out, either sacrificed it and sold it down, as I said. Let's have a quick look at the Uniswap pool. We've got 50 million in Hex, so that's down from yesterday. I think we're up at 52. If I remember rightly, or something like that, 52, 53. So that's down a couple of billion. Nice. It's obviously the price has risen since yesterday as well. So cool. And we've got in the USDC, that was over 20 million. That's now down at 19. Very nice to see that. And obviously, as the price goes up, we're going to have less liquid Hex in the pools. Very cool. And you can see that's both on version 3. How much is that? That's 84% in the USD pair, which means that the price really moves up and down based on the value of Hex rather than the value of ETH and Bitcoin, because there's that reflexivity between all liquidity pools. If Bitcoin and ETH move down, then it's like the ocean, the sea moving down, and all the other projects sitting on it, all start to move down with it. That's why you get some price movements. Pretty cool on that. So that's nice. Let's quickly go to the chat before no more comments in chat, so I can move on to the next one. We'll go on to the overview. So here we are, folks. We got total Hex 634 billion, and liquid Hex is 573. So the number's slightly different from the previous one, but I'm not exactly sure why that is. We're still getting pretty decent stakes, not quite as high as they were, but still getting pretty decent staking periods here. Stakes opened, certainly open more than the closed. If you've got Staker app, you can actually see the last 24 hours on there, and I think there's over 42,300 stakers now. Amazing. That's up a couple thousand from the beginning of the sacrifice phase. So you can see that that's super bullish. Everything's supporting Hex moving forward as well. All the fundamentals as well as Pulsechain. They're both sort of working together at the moment. We can see the addresses on Hex are 313.969. So that's still up about 700. Slower than the other previous days. We were up about 1,300 a day. But this is still a really good result. And obviously 9.557% is the total Hex locked. So pretty, the Pulse fundamentals are working for the Hex fundamentals and vice versa. They are quite related to each other. All right, and as we can see, we're closing in on 3 billion Hex sacrificed. Woohoo! As Alex says, awesome fundamentals for there as well. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. That's pretty much there. We're up to that one. So let's quickly go to the Hex price now. Moving on to Hex price. So we've talked about the sacrifice. We've talked about how to do the sacrifice. We've talked about the sacrifice numbers, both as timestamped by 1 hour on the Pulse lead site. We've talked about what the market price of that is at the moment, how much Hex has been sacrificed for US dollar stable coins. We've also talked about the percentage that's been sacrificed versus the supply of Hex in the fundamentals. And we've also talked about the number of stakers and new stakers and the number of new the total supply of Hex. Those are the topics we've just covered. And then, of course, now we're talking about the Hex price. Now, this is the daily candle on the USD pair on version 3. You can see, look at that beautiful green candle. If that doesn't look bullish to that chart, I think it looks pretty bullish to me. And obviously, we've still got relatively low volumes, but easily moved on the low liquidity on the price. All we need is just someone to move up. Now, if you go through the last quote, we just had a couple of sales, but before that, we were getting a heck of a lot of buys through here. And you can see, look, all morning we're getting all these buys. Look at that, pretty epic stuff for hours and hours and hours. And we only, for the last 3.5 hours, we only just started getting some sales just recently. And we do expect that typically. So we just started getting a few sales there. Obviously, after the price moves up with all those buys, there's going to be a bit of selling eventually coming after, especially after 3 hours, 3.5 hours of mostly buys. You're going to get a few sales coming in there. So that's what we're seeing at the moment. Just a little bit of hemorrhaging as the price moves up into a new level. And so we're basically up at 14.5 cents, just having a little bit of trouble just getting past that. We really want to get past this 15 cents to really move on up. 15.5 cents really ideally, and then break out. And if we can get back up to the good old 18 cents, this is really the stuff to break. Once we do that, we can move on forward. Now we can get big green candles in a day. Look at these big green candles here. Big green candle there, big green candle there. We can get a big green candle. We've got a couple hours to go. Now we have been seeing the last couple of days, obviously with the flash crash and all that stuff, we have been seeing some sell-offs before, like an hour before or so of the sacrifice day closing. We've got about 3 hours to go. Was it 3 hours? Yeah. So maybe in 2 hours' time, we might see a bit of selling off. If that does change, though, that means some sentiment's definitely changing because we have been seeing probably an hour before some sell-offs, which sort of ruins that momentum. You're expecting a nice little price increase, but we've seen a little bit of stuff going on there. What's driving that is just possibly people expecting, but just because the close is happening, maybe I'll sell here while the price is feeling good, especially after the flash crash a couple of days ago. And with the flash crash I'm talking about is that big red candle there. You can see back on the 20th. But look, hey, we've got this nice recovery going on. Look at this. Pretty cool. And now we're on a really good day. This is looking really good. How big's the green candle going to be? Don't know. We're going to find out. Still got many hours to go to see how we go there. Let's go to the hourly on that, of course. And we'll check that out. So you can see on the hourly, look at that, beautiful, looking really good. Probably maybe have some little red little candles in here some stage, but hey, if it keeps the trend up, it's looking pretty bullish to me, especially after we move past that sacrifice phase. Perhaps we might see some movement there too. All right, very cool. All right, that's the chat's pretty quiet there at the moment, so not too bad. All right, let's quickly go and wrap up. How long are we going? We're going, let's see what the timer's frame is so far. 40 minutes, so we might end up finishing a bit earlier today. There's not a lot. We're going to jump over to Richard Hart's now and check the news. Now, this is obviously Richard Hart's Twitter, and you can find that on the official links. So if you go to here, you can actually find the official social media verification links. Richard Hart Win on Twitter. Pulsechain.com on Twitter, Telegram on pulsechain.com and YouTube, Richard Hart as well. Those are the official sites, so you can go check that. Once again, all these links are in the video description. This is on pulse.info.com, and you can find the links there. So here it is, Pulsechain. Some new coins have been added. Obviously, we've covered that already. This is all the news since we did our update yesterday. And obviously, he's talking about the sacrifices 14 hours ago, being up at 623 million. Very nice. Showing a few more of his watches. He loves watches there. They're pretty fancy, actually. Must say, I do like these, got the gold ones. I like that pink one there. Pretty nice. I don't know which ones you guys like. Leave me a comment in the chat if you like any of that, one of those particular ones there. He says these pictures I take really suck. One day I'll get a good one. He's got a bit of sense of humor there, and yeah, got a little price chart here. Other coiners see the I'm not quite sure what that's saying, but I want to go back. We've got another topic I want to talk about, and hopefully I'll give you some insights to that topic around liquidity. Some whale move has happened in the last 24 hours, so I want to go check that. Now this is a really good interview with the Staker app, OXDEF. Check that out as well, because really quite interesting. His interview. Is Hex reaching critical mass? If we are, say Steph, it's game over. And so he's talking about 10x number of users of Staker app and Hex in the future. And so he's and probably in the next 6 to 9 months or something like that. It's pretty impressive stuff. He's doing the second version of Stake app. Looks beautiful. If you've seen the pre-images on that, looks really good. So check that out. Obviously some more scam stuff. UniH scam airdrop or something. Avoid doing, if you get airdrops in your wallet, avoid them unless you know for certain that other people have said that they're okay. You know, the people that in the know. But generally, just ignore all of the airdrop stuff, because it's typically scam most of the time. And this UniH, once you interact with the contracts, it can often open up a vulnerability to get an approved amount and get access to your wallet and drain all your wallet. You don't want that, folks. You'll be, you know, upset about that. I will say some pretty sad stories there. So it's just some more stuff there. Let's just jump past that. Updated Pulsechain info, of course. Just check that out. Not actually sure what this one actually says. So yeah, just Polygon Matic. So it's just got all the tokens on there as well. So that's really nice to see that. They weren't there before, so nice to see that as well. So you can see, if you click on Polygon Matic, you can actually see all the coins that you can actually sacrifice there. Obviously, Polygon Matic second layer as well. So that's nice to see that added. And a lot of people have got stuff trading on there as well. Ethereum bros, get any tips to full archive node on AWS to sync faster? Hate waiting. So after a bit of advice there, everyone looks at. Well, someone is making some funny memes, just talking about Alex again. So if you're into Alex saga, you can go and check that. Fun fact: I bought Bitcoin at $30 in 2011. It went to 65,000. It's 2,167x. However, Hex murders that. So nice one there. Average APY 40%. Went up 1,000x on the price. That's a nice one there. Ivan on Tech. Now, this is, I think, that's pretty big news. Probably the bigger news of today. Ivan on Tech made a donation to the Sense Foundation, anti-aging research. So Ivan on Tech did a wonderful interview with Richard Hart, my favorite so far. And if you haven't checked that out, go check that out on Ivan on Tech channel. It was really a brilliant interview. And hey, look, Ivan's got involved in Pulsechain. So one of the biggest YouTube influencers in crypto, closing in on 500,000 subscribers, and definitely, I think, one of the most influential YouTubers. And he's just got on board. So pretty awesome stuff. Rich Hart organizes the biggest charity in crypto history. So nice to see that. So big shout out there to Ivan on Tech. And yeah. No, that's pretty much it for the news on that. But we're going to go back and check something very important that happened in the last 24 hours or so. So we're going to just scroll back to that. I want to show you this one. This is a pretty interesting. Hopefully, I have some insight into this. It just came to me. This is what happened here. So this is on the 20th to 23rd of July. And it's interesting that in Uniswap, the liquidity tab shows bid support on the right and sell resistance on the left. So let's go check out this Uniswap. This is the liquidity pool. And let's check out this. Boom. So once you go to this tab here, so I'm just going to post this in the chat. Let's go here, Uniswap liquidity. Now we've been talking about whales moving and making some actions, particularly on the price. And so we're going to check that out. Before we do that, let me just do Alex comments. I like Apple Watch. What these watches are Rob magnet. Yeah, absolutely. And Justin, when is everything launching? So we think probably in about probably 5 weeks or something like that. If you're talking about Pulsechain and stuff. Hey, Jonathan Kapala, hey, good to see you. One of Axion Tokens members helping support this channel. Now, if you want to support this channel, hit the join button. You can become an Axionite. a elite or a hero or a kraken and help support the growth of this channel, be much appreciated. Obviously, we're going to be covering Pulsechain for a long time to come because I think it's a huge thing for crypto land for sure. Richard was on this show Cabana Crypto yesterday. It was a great video. Yeah, the Cabana Crypto was quite good. It's obviously they had a fund trader, yeah, some sort of trader on there, just forgetting the now, but a hedge trader I think or something like that, and he was on there as well. So there's some good stuff in there if you want to check that out, if you particularly like that sort of stuff. So very cool. Says John, nice one there, Jonathan. Okay, so there's the Uniswap liquidity is what we're looking at. So once you come to this page, you click on liquidity, and we'll see what's in the liquidity pool there. We're just waiting for this to update. It's on the USDC pair here. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought to update there, but hey, it's going to work. Let's close out of that. Maybe close a couple of these other things I've got open. All right, so what happened was this wall came. So on the right side is the buyers. These are all the people that want to buy and limit orders and stuff. So these are people who want to buy. On the left are the sellers, the people that want to sell. And this is what you'd get on Uniswap, right? And so you can see the red line in the middle is the price. The current price, you can see it's just under 14.5 cents. That's that red line. So everyone on the right here wants to buy. Everyone wants to sell on the left here. And you can see the top of the candles are the volume that they're wanting to sell. And in each candle, so you can see there's some people have got some stuff here. Will it actually hold up, or will they pull it? People can pull their orders, so this stuff might just disappear. Maybe they're just there to create some price pressure resistance. Maybe they've got a strategy for that. Maybe they're just there because they want to be in the sell. Maybe they hit there, but then they decide to move it. So it may or may not stay there. I mean, it could get sold, it could just get pulled, and therefore the price will go up even further. There's less resistance to go up. But what we saw I think it was about a day ago, is we saw this buy wall. Look at it, it's ginormous buy wall came in, massive buy wall came in. All right, and let me just go back to here. I just want to go to the daily candle as we are. So here's the daily candle. Let's go full screen on this one. And so what you see is that we had a move up, right? We had a move up, and here was our move. See the price here, we've got about 6.3 cents, and we're ranging down to, let's say about here, we started the movement up. So you can see after we were at about 5.4 cents, this is the bottom here, we started moving up into this where we are now, right? This is the big move, right? So this 5.4 cents, just remember this one, where we are here. So around here, about 5 cents. Remember that's the beginning of the move, right? The beginning of the move, 5.4 cents. So that's right there. So let's go look at here, and let's go see the front of the buy wall. This is millions of dollars, okay? There's about 140, 150,000 US dollars in each of these little blue lines, right? And so there's millions of dollars. I can't remember, it's $11 million or something like that. Can't remember the exact number, but it's pretty big. And it just came in, topped in about a day ago. And look where the top of the front of the buy wall, 5.4 cents. 5.4 cents, okay? Look at this chart. This is the beginning of the move, about 5.4 cents, okay? So you get the connection. So that's where the buy walls come. It's getting support at the beginning of the price rise. All right, so this is my thought. This is my thought on this. This buy wall came in. This is a whale move, right? This is a whale move. And so you can speculate on who it is. Is it the Origin wallet? Is it somebody else? You can speculate. I think you can make certain speculations. Let's play the speculation that the scenario that it's something related to the Origin wallet. Then if it comes in at this price, right, 5.4, it's defending the beginning of the price wall. It also it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's defending the wall at the beginning of the price move at 5.4 cents. On the other hand, it is defending the value of the sacrifice. Now, that normally doesn't matter for the Origin wallet, because the Origin wallet, we know, owns about 54 billion liquid, and then 8 billion or 9 billion or something in the state. It doesn't normally affect that, right? But when you're doing a capital raise for Pulsechain, it's a lot of kudos, it's a lot of valuation. It's like a capital raise for the actual sacrifice. This is different. So all the Hex that sacrifice is actually part of the capital raise for Pulsechain. That's why it's different, right? Otherwise, that wouldn't matter. So if this is this one scenario. So if this plays out, that's actually on one side, it's defensive play. So it's a double-edged sword. One side of that sword is that it's defensive play, defending the 5.4 cents mark, right? It's also defending the value of the sacrifice, right? The value of the capital. So if someone wanted to try and keep attacking the value, of the actual, not the snapshot value, that's already snapshot, but the actual market value at any point in time, then they could attack at that price and move Hex down with the low liquidity, right? So that on one hand, it seems to me like a defense play. This is my scenario of defense, but on the other side of the sword, the double-edged sword, on the other side of the sword, it for me, it could be under this scenario, it could be also a price support, right? Which is just another play of saying, hey, here's a big buy wall. Look at this stuff. You've got to sell into this if you really want to move the price down below the price. So this becomes a double-edged sword defensive play, as I've just illustrated with those two factors, right? The beginning of the price rise at 5.4 cents, and also the amount of the value of the actual Hex staked, and therefore the capital raise. Because think the sacrifice is basically like capital raise, right? And that's what it's like. And of course, and then on the other side of it is also a not just defensive but an attacking phase. It says, hey, look, here's a big buy wall support at 5.4 cents. You sell down there at your your kind of peril, because it's not going to really go much further. And so that's kind of the way I see that at the moment. That's my interpretation of that scenario. It could be just another whale coming in, deciding to defend, to buy at 5.4 cents. Maybe thinks, oh, it's going to, price is going to fall, and I'm going to buy all up at that range. So those are the two scenarios that I painted out there. Let me know in the chat what you think of that. And of course, but the prices started moving up from yesterday. We've already been moving up, as we can see. If we look at the hourly candle, if we look at the hourly candle, we can actually see we've continued to move up from that 13 cents, 14 cent mark, and we keep climbing up here at the moment. So that's pretty cool. And so we've basically moved up from, around about here, and the prices have been moving overnight over to here. So over the last, 12, 14 hours or whatever, I can't remember the period tip or something like that. We've kept moving up to here. And are we going to attack here? And will this actually stay? And can we move on? Because a lot of people obviously speculating for the sacrifice. They want the price to go up so that their US dollar value is worth more, especially compared to the people that got in on day 1, 2. So day 1, 2 is the best day so far. People that sacrificed in these first days are the lucky ones so far. So we're on day 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So these 3 days here pretty much got the best sacrifice days so far. So you can see that the only way to offset the USD value of these guys is to get a pump past them, and particularly offset the penalty at the moment, which we know at the moment is let me show, is $1.22 per 10,000 points. So hopefully that's giving you some thoughts to think about there. Hey Vusi, hello, good to see you, Vusi. And Jan Kowalski, we already have 700 million in token pre-sale, and could be way more where it goes after sacrifice is done. Liquidity. Well, we don't know. It could be liquidity. It could be airdrops. Could be just sitting there. It could be helping grow the project in other ways that we're not aware of. Richard has certain things up his sleeve. It's got some secret sauce. There's lots of stuff to be played out yet, so we'll see. It may just do what the Origin wallet's doing and be used to help support the project long term, which is what I expected to, excuse me. Jan Kowalski, you are sacrificing to make a political statement. It's gone. Doesn't matter where it goes. Well, it not from that point of view, but it does matter what it's used for. If it's used to support the project like the Origin wallet is, then that's what one would expect. And so hopefully that's going to do things like that. Very cool. Obviously the Hex, Richard's already said hypothetically the Hex won't be sold. That's why it makes Hex even more bullish, because it's basically all that Hex, that's almost 3 billion Hex is going somewhere. The rest of the non-ETH tokens, of course, he says, who knows what's going to happen to those. And like I said, I'll just paint out some things that could be used for, airdrops, could just sit there. Could be, some of it might be sold for private use. Who knows? You just don't know. We don't know who controls it. So of course, you get my point. That could be used for liquidity pools, could be used for funding new tech, new bridges, all that sort of stuff. Paying advertisers, marketers. There's lots of different use cases that can be used for, indeed. So hopefully that helps with that one. So yeah, I do think I think it was a good question. But once again, when you actually make the sacrifice, you're expecting nothing under the Howard rule. What the wallet does, you don't, basically you're not supposed to care. But like the Origin wallet has been pretty supportive of the Hex project in many ways. As I said, 90% is like concentrated buying, like getting Bitcoin at the beginning. It's also a big payday. It was staked and stopped a lot of the day traders swinging the price. Unfortunately, that has a negative effect also on the people that are Hexkins that are keen on it, that wanted to get bigger payouts to stake that more and stake longer. It did affect those people, but it really dealt with a lot of swing traders that were coming in on the 19th of November, 17th, 18th, 19th, driving that price up. to try and get 300%, big paydays, and that went down to like 30-40%. So it did change that around. Obviously, people that were staked long, still 10 years or so, still got I think like something like 200% or something like that. So they still did pretty well, 150, 200% something. They still did pretty well, but they were going to get you doing better at the time. And that was the Origin wallet making moves there. And so I suspect the Sacrifice wallet to do pay similar functions in supporting Pulsechain's growth. I don't expect a lot of other stuff. That's my personal opinion, of course, not investment advice. Do your own due diligence. Hey, we're coming up 55 minutes, and I think it was a pretty good session. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys did too. Feel free to subscribe, like, and share. Hit the bell, of course. And of course, don't forget to catch me. You guessed it, tomorrow. Catch me tomorrow. We'll do another update. Hopefully we'll get some nice news up through the Twitter there as well from Richard. Really cool. And let's keep powering up those sacrifice numbers. We've got 10 days to go, plus a couple hours before the sacrifice close. So if you are going to get sacrifice, want to get that $1.22 per 10,000 rate at the moment, and you don't think that Hex price is going to really move much further, then it's probably a good time to do it. But if you're going to speculate on a breakout of Hex, where many people are, then you can also choose that. It's really up to you. Hopefully you've been able to get enough information to that. No one really knows what the future price is going to do. I'm feeling in the later camp, but you never know. We'll see how we go. All right, peace out. Thanks, Alex, as always, for being an awesome moderator, and thanks everybody for getting in there. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the bell, and share. And of course, if you want to become a member of this channel, hit that join button and become either an Axionite, a hero, an elite, or a Kraken. Until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, and thanks for watching all. And Raid Hex, loved your questions as usual. Very cool. Nice one there. Cheers. See ya.